Hello friends, welcome back to our lovely class. In our last class, we did an introduction to Look Back in Anger by John Osborne. Look Back in Anger by John Osborne. So today's class will be looking at the themes and style in the play Look Back in Anger by John Osborne. So our behavioral objectives. At the end of the lesson, the learner should be able to identify the themes in the play and analyze the style used by John Osborne in the play. Now, what is the message of the play? What do you think John Osborne was trying to tell the world using his play Look Back in Anger? Let's look at the themes. Real life. Real life. The theme of real life. In the play, Jimmy Potter is consumed with the desire to live a more real and full life. He compares his burning desire to the empty actions and attitudes of others. At first, he generalizes this emptiness by criticizing the lax writing and opinions of those in the newspaper. He then feels that they cannot give him a response. Since they can't give him a response, he's now looking for those around him that he can lash out at. And the next people he sees is his wife Alison, her friend Helena, and his own friend and roommate Cliff. So the theme of real life here, he wants everybody to feel real life. He wants everybody to believe that there is no fantasy, but no one is seeing it. And he wants everyone to see that I've experienced pain. But you people act like you've never experienced it. So I want you people to. And that's why every time they act like there is nothing, he makes them feel that there is actually something in life. Another theme is class conflict. We can see the class system here. The class system where we see that Jimmy believes that those at the top, there is this special treatment for those at the top and exclusion from all power for those at the bottom. So Jimmy feels that there are some people that are at the top that don't feel that exclude those that are not at the top. That's why he always feels that Alison is at the top and he's at the bottom, and he's always feeling intimidated, and that's why he's always doing everything humanly possible to ensure that Alison is not happy in her home, because he feels that she believes that since she's coming from a wealthy home, there are certain things that she has never tasted what pain and suffering is. So he has to discriminate. He believes that there should be no form of discrimination. But then there is discrimination in the society. The upper class, the middle class, the lower class. And he feels he falls at the lower class while Alison falls at the upper class. And so there is this class conflict in the story. We have the loss of childhood. Osborne uses specific examples. The death of Jimmy's father when Jimmy was only 10. So Jimmy lost his father at the age of 10, and he was forced to watch the physical and mental demise of the man to demonstrate the way in which Jimmy is forced to deal with suffering from an early age. From an early age, Jimmy lost everything. Nobody to take care of him. He became a man at 10 years of age. So he feels that he has lost his childhood and it can never be gotten back. Alison's loss of childhood is best seen in the way she was forced to grow up too fast by marrying Jimmy. She wanted to have that independence from her family, and she had to marry Jimmy. And in marrying Jimmy, she had to grow up. She had to end up growing up. If you understand, she had to end up growing up so that she can become a mature lady. And because of that, she lost that childhood that she would have enjoyed peacefully. So you see that we have three important themes in Look Back in Anger. We have real life, we have class conflict, and loss of childhood. Now let's look at the style of writing the novel and the play. How did Osborne write his play? How did Osborne write his play? Language. Through the character speeches, we are made aware of their socioeconomic classes and education. The way Jimmy talks, there is the use of bombastic languages by Jimmy. So that's to show you that Jimmy is not really educated. Helena and Alicia's speeches are polished, poised, showing their upper class background. Their use of language is upper class and very sophisticated, while bombastic languages are used by Jimmy to show that he's coming from the lower class. Now, we have the dramatic techniques. Flashback, the use of flashback. Jimmy was 10 years old when his father died in the British-Spanish War. That's where we can see, I watched my father dying when I was 10 years old, page 79, where he used flashback to tell us how his father died in the British-Spanish War. We also have symbols. The newspaper in the story was a symbol of education. It's a symbol of education, and it's also a symbol of Jimmy's ignorance. We have Cliff and Helena. They are also symbols in the story. Cliff symbolizes peace because he was always there to ensure that, to become the peacemaker in Alison and Jimmy's marriage. He was the peacemaker. But Helena symbolizes betrayal because even after convincing Alison to leave her husband's house and go to her parents and stay there, she moved in with Jimmy and she was having romantic relations with Jimmy, her best friend's husband. So that she's a symbol of betrayal. She is a symbol of betrayal. Let's look at other dramatic techniques. Irony. He uses his university certificate to run a candy shop. How will you go to the university and earn all that degree to come and run a candy shop? It's such an irony. Helena acts like a devoted Christian, but in secret she flirts and seduces Alison's husband, Jimmy. Very ironical. Foreshadowing, where we see future events. We are told of things that will eventually happen in the future. Alison returns to Jimmy and informs him of her miscarriage. Earlier in the story, you remember that Jimmy had predicted that Alison would get pregnant and her baby will eventually die, so she will feel pain. And voila! She got pregnant, the baby died, and she felt pain. Foreshadowing. Future events being revealed to us, the readers. So, we have seen the dramatic techniques used by the writer in the play. We have flashback, symbols, irony, foreshadowing. There are other dramatic techniques. You can get from this play. But these are the ones we'll be doing in the course of our lesson. So we are going to our usual evaluation. Examine the themes of loss of identity, love and betrayal, failed marriage. And 2, give more instances of flashback in the play. So we've come to the end of our lovely class where we've analyzed the themes and style of John Osborne's Look Back in Anger. So our next class will be analyzing the characters in the play. Until then, I'll be seeing you in our next class. Bye!